guys are a great crowd. You guys ready for a full show? Let's have some noise. Let's have some noise. So a lot of you I got to say hi to, and those of you I didn't, I'm your host. You put up with me for like 15 minutes, and then we got our show on the way. And I bring a new set of comics with me every show. I do 2 shows a month here. So I bump into these comics every club across the country, and I have a lot of fun having them come back to my room, which is a lot of fun for me. So please, a warm welcome to all our comics tonight. Our first comic tonight, he has just been voted one of the top 10 funniest comics in Philadelphia. He plays all around comedy cabaret. You can find him on Gig Salad. Please, a warm welcome, Mr. Pat Rocky, everybody. Mr. Pat Rocky from Philadelphia. There you go. There you go, Pat. You're doing it.
Where's my Rocky music? Oh, I need to put that water bottle in. I have to hydrate at my age. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry, folks. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking at some of you. I know you're disappointed already. Jeez. I mean, you came out. It's a Saturday night. You're here to have wine. You're looking for a hip young comic, and then you get me, your dad's lap partner from high school. I mean, just look at me. I'm like a genetic mashup of Mitt Romney and Keith Richards. I have this decrepit body, but at least I put a jacket over it. You know, when I was younger, I was known for being hip and original. Now at my age, I'm known for having my original hips. It's tough being the oldest comic at these gigs. You know, I'm with Coleman and Chris, and they're on their iPhones, they're on their iPads. I'm on Medicare. You know, there was a time I'd come in here, beautiful lady like you, you look at me and you say, ooh, I wonder if he's available. And now you ask, I wonder if he's even insurable. And I'm not. I'm terrible shape. You know, I'm trying to look at somebody who's really in good shape here, not in this crowd apparently. But, yeah, they say if you're in good shape when you run, you should be able to talk. Oh, when I run, I talk, but I say things like, call 911. Where's the nearest hospital? You know, my body is like, I'm like an old car that needs a lot of maintenance to keep going. And let me get this out here. Sorry to break up the rhythm of the show, folks. That's what I do at this point in my life. But, you know, one of the things I think about, you know, I need a lot of maintenance to keep going. You know, the maintenance on a 1952 Italian is very, very time consuming. Let me tell you something. In fact, I really wonder if, like, what would Consumer Reports say about me if they reviewed me like an old car? Let's see. Consumer Reports, 1952 Italian. Predictive reliability, lower than average. Fuel injection is sluggish. Well-padded back seat. A tendency to leak fluid. Yes, folks, that's me. That is me. You know, where's South Carolina? Where's the South Carolina? Oh, congratulations, miss, on your diploma. This is what you had to look forward to. You know, get on the Social Security and Medicare, make people laugh, make a fool of yourself so you can buy eggs, you know? But you said you were in accounting. Is anybody here in HR? Any HR people here? Let me tell you my beef with HR now that I'm the age that I am. You know those videos that they have that teach about sexual harassment? All the guys, the bad managers in there look like me. They're all old guys with glasses and they're all smarmy. And they make a pass at the attractive Asian woman and she turns him down and he goes, oh, sweet and sour. Mmm. Creepy can you get? And wait until you get a full-time job, unless you have one already. But wait until you have a full-time job. You know what you're going to be sorry that you have to sit through besides those films? Corporate pep talks. you know, rah rah, sis boom bah. Oh, I was surly when I was at work. My boss would take me aside and talk to me in old sayings. Well, you know, Pat, there's no I in teams. I said, yeah, pal, but there's one in raise, and I ain't getting one this year because of assholes like you. I was here once before, but it was so long ago, it was before the pandemic. So let's hear it for making it through the pandemic, everybody. I do have a question for the working people who were home, just by a show of hands, or really a round of applause. Clap if over the last 3 years somebody in your home threatened your life. Yeah, my wife and I had a little bit too much togetherness during that time. I turned around and went, ooh, it's you again. One day, I had it. I decided I was walking out. She said, you promised me till death do us part. And I said, well, I may exercise the death clause in that contract, let me tell you. On the other hand, you know, a nice young couple here, I'm going to give you some, I'm going to look to you some tips along the way. It was an opportunity to spice up our marriage. You know, like little games that you play, like I'm the Domino's guy and she doesn't have enough money to pay for the pizza. And I say, well, this pizza's not going to pay for itself, Mrs. Rocky. And she go, oh, Mr. Domino's fan, I am hot and thoughty like your pizza. Yes, I am. So, how, are you married? Are you a married couple? How long have you been married?
November, it's coming up.
Oh, you're not married yet. Oh. I have some things to teach you, young man. Oh, memorize this phrase. This will help you a lot. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. That's going to help you a lot. Yes, it will. I wish you a long marriage like I had. This past February, my wife and I were married for 44 years. It's really not that great, you know. If my wife were here, you'd think she was cute, you would like her. But it's like the vows I took where you love, honor, and anoint this woman. Everything I do seems to bother her. God, she's like, she was murdered during the pandemic. Wait until you have somebody taking care of you. She said, make sure you wear your mask. I don't want this virus to kill you. That's my job. Yeah. So, one day, and you don't look after your health all the time. Like one day she looks at me and she says, is that skin tag on your nose bothering you? I said, well, no, actually it's not. She said, well, it's bothering me, take care of it. So the stupid thing is, I have to go to the doctor because something on my nose is bothering my wife. The doctor looks at me and says, I have one of those. I said, do you have a skin tag on your nose? He said, no, I have a wife that nags me too. And if you were home during pandemic, besides each other, one of the things you got tired of, how did you get entertained? All we had was TV and streaming services. You know what I found out? How much I hate commercials. Am I right? The commercials all, like the one in the morning. Not this probably doesn't count for you, South Carolina, because you're apparently a smart young woman. But there's the girl in Huntington Learning Systems. Stupid kid, she's flunking out of high school, she's stupid. And her mother is sending her in to get tutored. And then finally she says, face it, I'm not getting into college. And I'm thinking, yeah, no shit, I figured that when you didn't get into acting school either. And can we do something about that guy with the speedy little porn star mustache that sells My Pillow? I have to be honest with you. I don't have anything against Mike Lindell. I don't have anything against the product. I own the product. It's the name that gets me. It's the name. My Pillow. You know, it's kind of like my wife and I are making the bed, and she says, "Put my pillow on your side." And I said, "Shouldn't I put my pillow on my side?" And she said, "No, not my pillow. It's my pillow, but it's your pillow." I said, "Is it your pillow or my pillow? Make up your mind." Commercials. One thing I want to know about commercials, when did ED become entertainment? I'm telling you, they start off with this phony, happy music. I'm telling you, you listen. Stay away from those commercials. The music alone will make you soft. Now, let me tell you something. For me, at my age, it's a generational thing. I'm not used to talking about ED on television. When I was growing up, the only time I saw the letters ED on the screen was when Mr. Ed was coming. I want to thank the people who laughed at that joke, because my wife has been telling me for years that I should get rid of it. You remember who Mr. Ed is, ma'am? Yeah. Young man, do you know who Mr. Ed is? Oh, you do, because usually I get somebody young like you, and he says, "Oh, I don't know who Mr. Ed is, Mr. Rocky," and I have to explain that it's a talking horse. Sounds like a gay Johnny Cash, you know. "Oh, Wilbur, ride me. Oh." And the women in these commercials are doing things that are supposed to show how adorable they are, but they would be grounds for justifiable homicide, even in New Jersey, I'm sure. They're in a restaurant and she takes food from his plate. Oh, how cute. Or she's painting. She gets paint in her nose. Or she's trying to put her shoe on, so she hops across the kitchen floor like that. It's just so adorable. Or she's baking and she gets flour on her nose. Apparently, people who write these commercials think that something's on a woman's nose is an aphrodisiac, like, "Oh, honey, you got something in your nose, I'm ready for you." Okay? And then there are the husbands standing off to the side, you know, looking at these shenanigans they're going through with a loving look on their face. And I know what the guy's really thinking. He's thinking, "Oh, honey, you think I need a pill because of my health?" But the real reason I can't get it up for you is because you're so fucking annoying. And then the guys themselves, buff, but not muscle bound, just tastefully trim with their muscles, and not real great, just a touch of gray on the side. Those aren't the guys who get ED. Show me your old governor, Chris Christie. A guy who's so fucking fat, he hasn't seen his own dick for the last 7 years. You know, I just get so worked up about this stuff, you know, at my age, and all these years with my wife, you know, and you know, I go back to my the days when we were courting each other, and she was planning the wedding. First of all, in case you thought you heard incorrectly, yes, Helene was right. My name is Rocky, like the Stallone movie. And when we were getting married, it was a great name to have. You know, she's planning a wedding, and I don't know what kind of a groom you are. I was kind of a typical guy. I would have been content to go into the woods and been married by a bear, but she made all the plans. And so one day she said to me, "Wouldn't it be fun if we came into the reception to the Rocky theme? Because that's a we'll be Mr. and Mrs. Rocky." And I said, "Well, okay, I can go with that." Then she pulled a fast one on me. She brought in a ring announcer. And now, presenting to you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Rocky, da-da-da. Stay away from that. Da-da-da. Stupid music I've been listening to for 45 years. And then she went all out with it. She had the wedding party run up the Art Museum steps. We toasted with a glass of raw eggs. Yeah, she got a little bit even more into it. You know, when I pushed the cake in her face, she decked me. And then, in short order, we had our kids, Rocky 2 and Rocky 3. Who are my fathers? Where are my fathers? The fathers of sons. They're right there. How old's your sons or your children? 3? Oh, you've got a chance to educate them. Oh, let me tell you something. What you have to look forward to. He's going to think you're the stupidest guy in the face of the earth. He really is. One day, my kid, Rocky 2, looked at me and he said, "When did you stop being cool?" I said, "September 25th. He said, "That's my birthday." I said, "Yeah, that's it. That's when I stopped being cool and I had to start taking care of your sorry ass." I took him to Sears. I said, "Pick out the lawnmower you like." He said, "Why do you expect me to mow the lawn?" I said, "Why do you think I even had you?" And I think some hints on things that you can do. I think it's really good to screw around with the kids. Screw around with their heads. Like, there's a very simple thing. It doesn't take much of a prop to do it to upset your kids. What you do is take out an ordinary baseball cap and put it on backward. And my son would look at me and say, "Dad, you're not really going out like that." And I pull some jive white dad stuff. Yo, yo, yo. I had to go out with my homies soon. I was good for 20 minutes of him up in his room. And I don't have any, I'm a grandfather too. I've got 2 grandsons. And I have no patience for him. You're going into a rough age, because that's about the age of my grandson. 3, 4, 5. We're taking the older one out for a walk. And he decides he doesn't want to walk anymore. So he pulls this from the little kid playbook. "I don't feel like walking anymore." And he lies down on the sidewalk. And I get up and I walk away. And my wife said, "You just can't leave him here." And I said, "Try me." And I took out my cell phone, I took a picture, and I texted it to his parents. And I said, "If you want your kid, he's at 21st in Ohio. I'll be home in a few minutes." Young man, and I wish you luck in your wedding. I'm going to give you a little hint of what you had to look forward to when you hit your 70s and 44 years of marriage. I compare my romantic life to movie franchises. At your age, I know what it's like. It's the Fast and the Furious. You get into the act, and it's over a little bit too quickly. Give it time. When you're in your middle years, that's when you're Iron Man. But now at my age, 44 years of marriage, it's mission impossible. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Pat Rocky. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Give it up for Mr. Pat Rocky, everybody. Good stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I am going to talk about marriage too for a second. So again, I didn't really hear Pat. Who's been married? We got long years married here. Yell it out. Yell it out. 34. I'm 34 this year. Oh, I got 34. I got 26. I got 44. I got everything.